Hello and welcome, dear listeners, to a journey into the heart of colonial India, land of breathtaking beauty, profound spirituality, and painful division. Today, we're exploring E.M. Forster's 1924 masterpiece, A Passage to India, a story that weaves together friendship, cultural clashes, and the haunting shadows of misunderstanding during the final decades of the British Raj. Isn't just a tale of two nations, Britain and India, but a deep dive into human connection itself. It poses a timeless question. Can friendship truly exist between the colonizer and the colonized? Our story unfolds in the fictional city of nestled along the banks of the mighty Ganges River. At first glance, Chandrapur seems peaceful, a typical colonial town. But beneath this calm surface lies a sharp, uncrossable divide. The British rulers reside on the hill, safe within their exclusive club, while the Indian population lives below, amidst the crowded streets and the sweltering heat of daily life. Forster paints this world with incredible detail, the vibrant colors, the cacophony of sounds, the cleansing monsoons, but, most of all, he paints the immense distance between people. At the center of this world is Dr. Aziz, a young, intelligent, and emotional Muslim doctor who is deeply proud of his culture. Aziz dreams of a world where harmony between the British and Indians is possible, yet he often finds himself humiliated by their arrogance. One evening, his path crosses with Mr. Cyril Fielding, the principal of the local government college. Fielding is different from the other Englishmen. He's open-minded, genuinely curious, and respectful of Indians. Despite the towering barriers of empire, these two men form a friendship, sharing laughter and a sense of mutual respect. But as Forster so brilliantly shows us, friendship in such a divided world is never simple. Meanwhile, two newcomers arrive from England. Mrs. Moore, an elderly, gentle woman filled with empathy and a deep spiritual curiosity, and Adela Quested, a young woman engaged to Mrs. Moore's son, Ronnie Heaslap, who happens to be the local magistrate. Both Adela and Mrs. Moore are eager to see what they call the real India. But they are quickly disappointed by the cold, detached nature of the British community. The English club is a bubble of gossip, prejudice, and a pervasive fear of the locals. The two women soon feel trapped in this small, arrogant world. One night, seeking solace, Mrs. Moore wanders into a mosque where she has a chance encounter with Dr. Aziz. Their meeting is pure and sincere to souls connecting across cultural lines, unburdened by prejudice. Aziz is astonished by her genuine kindness, and Mrs. Moore sees in him a glimpse of a shared humanity that transcends the rigid structures of empire. This brief, beautiful moment marks a turning point in the novel, offering a fragile hope that true understanding might just be possible. In an attempt to bridge the social gap, the British authorities organize what they call a bridge party, hoping to foster goodwill between the Indian and English communities. But the event only serves to highlight just how deep the divisions really are. The English officers and their wives remain on one side, and the Indians on the other. The conversation is polite, but there is no real connection. The bridge they intended to build collapses before it's even started. Feeling embarrassed by the failure of the party, Mr. Fielding invites Mrs. Moore, Adela, and Dr. Aziz to his home for tea. Here, away from the stiff, formal rules of society, they finally speak honestly. Adela expresses her deep desire to see the real India, not just the sanitized, official version she's been shown. Touched by her sincerity, Aziz impulsively offers to take her and Mrs. Moore on an excursion to the famous Marabar Caves, mysterious and ancient formations just outside the city. Fielding agrees to join them, and for a fleeting moment, It seems that friendship and understanding might finally triumph over prejudice. But destiny, as it often does, has other plans. The trip to the Marabar Caves begins under a bright, sunny sky, with everyone in cheerful spirits. The group sets out, with local guides and servants, full of anticipation. The caves are legendary dark, echoing chambers set to distort all sound into a single, wordless, booming tone. Once inside, the story takes a haunting and sinister turn. Mrs. Moore enters one of the caves first. In the suffocating darkness, she's overwhelmed by a strange, unsettling echo, a sound that seems to repeat endlessly, erasing all meaning and distinction. Every word, every prayer, every thought becomes the same hollow, nihilistic vibration. She leaves the cave profoundly shaken, feeling a complete loss of all spiritual order and sense. Moments later, Adela enters another cave, with only Dr. Aziz nearby. Something happens inside, something confusing, terrifying, and utterly unclear. Adela rushes out, panicked and disoriented, and runs frantically down the hill. She later accuses Dr. Aziz of attempting to assault her inside the cave. The accusation sends shockwaves through Aziz, bewildered and humiliated, is immediately arrested. His British friends, one by one, abandon him all, except for Fielding, who staunchly believes in his innocence. The fragile bridge that had just begun to form between the English and the Indians shatters into a million pieces. The case of Dr. Aziz versus the Crown quickly becomes a national scandal. The entire Indian community rallies behind Aziz, seeing him as a symbol of colonial injustice. The British, in turn, close ranks, determined to protect their own, regardless of the truth. Mrs. Moore, too ill and disillusioned to face the uproar, decides to leave India. Tragically, she dies on her voyage home. Her death, however, takes on a new life among the Indians, who begin to chant her name as if she were a spirit of truth and justice. In the courtroom, Adela is pale and visibly confused. As she is questioned, she begins to doubt her own memory. Was Aziz really guilty? Did the incident she remembers even happen? The disorienting echo from the cave still haunts her mind, blurring the lines between reality and illusion. In a dramatic, stunning moment, Adela retracts her accusation, declaring to the court that she cannot be sure of what happened. The courtroom erupts, the Indians cheer wildly. The British are deeply humiliated, and Aziz is declared innocent. But even in victory, the damage is irreparable. Aziz feels profoundly betrayed, not just by the British system, but by the emotional turmoil of the trial itself. His friendship with Fielding, already strained by suspicion and political pressures, begins to crumble. Time passes. Fielding is transferred away, and Aziz moves to the princely state of Mo, where he works as a physician. His faith in the possibility of friendship with the English has been shattered. Adela, meanwhile, returns to England, alone and humbled by the experience. She has learned a difficult lesson: that truth, much like the echo in the caves, is often distorted by fear and misunderstanding. Years later, Fielding and Aziz meet again in India. The landscape around them is peaceful, yet something between them has irrevocably changed. Fielding, ever the idealist, hopes to revive their old friendship. Aziz, however, has grown more cynical and is now a passionate supporter of Indian independence. They ride together through the countryside as the monsoon clouds roll in as they cross a river. Forster gives us one of the novel's most powerful and poignant moments. The land itself, the sky, the earth, all seem to say, no, not yet. The time for true friendship, for genuine unity between them, has not yet come. Perhaps one day, when India is free, they can be friends, but not now. And so ends Asterisk, a passage to India. Asterisk, a profound story of misunderstanding, faith, and the deep human longing for connection in a world torn apart by division. Forster does not offer us easy answers. He shows us that between people and between nations, there lies a vast gulf of history, culture, and emotion. But within that gulf, there is also hope, fragile, flickering, and profoundly human. At its heart, Asterisk, a passage to India, Asterisk is not just about empire or politics. It's about the human spirit, about the courage of a friendship that dares to reach across boundaries, and about the mysterious echoes that remind us of our shared and often misunderstood humanity. Thank you for joining this storytelling summary of Asterisk, a passage to India, Asterisk. If you enjoyed this literary journey through its mystery, beauty, and deep emotion, please like, share, and subscribe for more timeless novel narrations. Until next time, remember, understanding begins not in the mind, but in the heart.